President Trump addresses the country after a suspected terror attack targets National Guardsmen in the nation's capital.
This heinous assault was an act of evil, an act of hatred, and an act of terror. It was a crime against our entire nation. It was a crime against humanity.
I'm Daily Wire Executive Editor John Bickley. It's Thursday, November 27th. This is a special edition of Morning Wire. Wednesday afternoon near the White House, officials say a gunman deliberately targeted two National Guardsmen from West Virginia. That gunman has since been identified as an Afghan national in the country illegally. A senior U.S. official told NBC News that both of the guardsmen were shot in the head and that the suspect used a handgun. Officials say both guardsmen were in critical condition as of late Wednesday. The suspect was also critically wounded and taken into custody, and the release of his identity has sparked outrage. He's been identified as 29-year-old Ramanullah Lakanwal, an Afghan national who was allowed into the country by the Biden administration's Operation Allies Welcome. That was the widely criticized operation that allowed some 77,000 Afghans to enter the U.S. after President Biden's disastrous withdrawal in 2021. Lakanwal reportedly served in the Afghan army for 10 years and then moved to Bellingham, Washington after being allowed into the country. In a press conference shortly after the attack, War Secretary Pete Hegseth denounced the shooter's actions.
The shooter shot in a cowardly, dastardly act targeting the best of America. Heroes willing to serve in Washington, D.C., serve for people they don't know and they've never met.
Then Wednesday night, President Trump gave a rare national address. In the speech, he condemned the Biden administration's policies that allowed the suspect into the country.
I can report tonight that based on the best available information, the Department of Homeland Security is confident that the suspect in custody is a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth. He was flown in by the Biden administration in September 2021 on those infamous flights that everybody was talking about. Nobody knew who was coming in. Nobody knew anything about it. His status was extended under legislation signed by President Biden, a disastrous president, the worst in the history of our country. This attack underscores the single greatest national security threat facing our nation. The last administration let in 20 million unknown and unvetted foreigners from all over the world. No country can tolerate such a risk to our very survival.
The president then announced that his administration would be re-examining every single person admitted under Biden's Operation Allies Welcome.
We must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't want them.
President Trump also doubled down on his commitment to using federal forces to keep America's cities safe.
America will never bend and never yield in the face of terror. And at the same time, we will not be deterred from the mission these service members were so nobly fulfilling. That is why tonight I can announce that I have directed the Department of War to mobilize an additional 500 troops to help protect our capital city. We will make America totally safe again.
This is a developing story. As always, you can find the latest in breaking news at dailywire.com. Thanks for tuning in. This has been a special edition of Morning Wire.